WEFM, the new fresh sound.
Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Yo, Rajiv.
Welcome back, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The time is 9:23. And welcome back to Activated Mornings this morning. This is our Talk to Me segment where you call in, we talk about anything you would like to talk about this morning. Number to call is 457-9997. Also, the number to WhatsApp 457-9997, where you can also place calls.
That's really a favorite song. So she was singing it just now.
That was the start. Oh.
I know how to sing the rest of it. Morning, Vincy. Morning, everybody.
You don't need to, trust me.
Just
Just
I
wajang.
yeah. I don't have the energy to. I don't have it. I'd listen to it, but I don't have it.
So, guys, this morning I want to bring a situation to you. To Activated Mornings quote this morning, and you will tell me what are your thoughts. So there's a tweet from a Santian Green who asks, "Am I wrong? I expressed the fact that I had to check with my man, and he told her that he had to pay, that she had to pay till the hair, basically." So the conversation goes, "Hey girl, how have you been?" Between the said person and a lady named Keisha. So Keisha enters.
That was a Keisha.
Hey girl, how have you been? The person responds, "Hey boo, I've been good. How about you?" Keisha responds, "I've been doing good. I got a question to ask if you don't mind answering." The lady responds, "You can ask, love." Keisha responds, "I wanted to know, could I come stay with you for a couple months? I got fired for being late to work, and I don't have nowhere else I can go right now because me and my family are not on good terms right now at this moment because they don't like my boyfriend. So they put me out late last night." The let's say Green responded, "Oh wow, that's crazy, girl. We're in the same process of moving ourselves, so I will have to check with my boyfriend to see what he has to say and get back to you. When you say a couple of months, how long do you plan on staying?" Keisha responds, "Until I can get back on my feet, honestly. I've been applying for jobs ever since I got fired. No one has called me back as yet, so I'm just waiting. But just let me know what he says, please." Green responds, "Okay, love, I will. He hasn't got back to me as yet, but when he does, I'll update you." She said, "Thank you, I appreciate the help." Green then comes back. "I just got off the phone with him. He said, yes, you can come, but you will have to pay us $200 every month while you are living with us. And to be honest, that will only be right, Keisha, because it will cause extra expenses to be added to us, and there's an extra head in the house." Keisha responds, "Girl, don't worry about it. I don't have no money. I just told her I got fired last week. You and your boyfriend," he sent a middle finger and said, "I'll figure something out." So do you think that Green is wrong in this case, in the fact that she contacted her boyfriend and her boyfriend decided, hey, she needs to pay rent if she's going to be staying there, basically?
It's rough, boy. It's rough.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. All of us.
It's also open to the listeners, by the way. 457-9997.
You know, Harry,
Mm-hmm.
Hold on,
Could you
Doc.
tilt the mic
I don't know
up,
why it
Doc?
keeps
sorry about that. I
dropping.
think I told you. It really depends on the type of relationship these two ladies have. If they had been very close, if they were like sisters, if they had previous times when they depended on each other, then I suppose one would think, look, I need a pull out on this occasion. I don't have no money and so forth. And the boyfriend has no relationship with this lady, so he's doing from a business point of view, hey, I want extra $200, justifiably, because there's going to be more electricity, more water, more this and so forth. But, you know, I remember the first time I went to New York, you know, to live. I stayed with somebody, you know, and they put me up. I didn't have to pay no rent. I didn't have to go. We go
They
through
were a
those-
family member?
No, they weren't a family. They were a friend.
Okay.
You know, and we go through all these circumstances where people put people, but I think that the relationship, it shows that it wasn't that close. That's the point I'm making. It shows it wasn't really that close, and so therefore there's a justification and so forth, because the allegiance that lady has with her boyfriend is of far greater importance than it has with her girlfriend. You know?
Okay, so when you stood with that person though, was there a time frame in mind, as in he
you
knew for
eventually
sure?
you eventually had to move and move on and so
No, but
forth.
before going there, did you say, so I'm only going to be here for, let's say, 2 months?
It's like that, yes, that's
Yeah.
right. But there wasn't a financial relationship every month for that 2 months. That's the difference here. So here, you know, until I get myself on my feet, I'm gonna get another job. And so let's say 2 months, 3 months. I hope not a year. You know what I mean? I hope not a year. And it was kind of open in that way. But there wasn't the financial obligation where she didn't have it.
I thought that okay, so Keisha, we say we calling her?
Yes, as Relisa said, always a Keisha.
Oh, Keisha, good morning. Okay, don't study these things here. But okay, so understanding that Keisha going through a rough part and her family not on good terms, which is a red flag to me. Is it Keisha's fault or is it the family's fault? But hey,
Well, it's
maybe
not
it
come to the
is.
boyfriend. They don't like her boyfriend.
They don't like her boyfriend.
And
So-
let us highlight that she has a boyfriend.
Where the boyfriend living?
All right.
But
All
she don't
right.
go live with the boyfriend.
All
Boyfriend
right.
don't want her with him. Anyways,
You assuming the boyfriend has his own
Own
house
place, right,
and he has his
yeah.
own
so the boyfriend
place?
could pay the
No.
200. Maybe the boyfriend at work.
And that is where I was going, you know. That is where I was going. But let me start,
But
let me start
okay.
the discussion.
I think Keisha, in her emotions, she was a bit disrespectful to
Very.
her friend.
Mhm.
Sticking up
You
the
know what I
middle
mean? Like,
finger,
listen,
right?
song bias.
But she also needed to understand that what if the friends were kind of living paycheck to paycheck and they just couldn't afford to have the friend and possibly the boyfriend over. So that's why the boyfriend said, look, listen, I understand you love your friend and what's not, but we can't afford this. So Keisha has come for $200. We know how things had. And if she was living on her own, she'd probably be paying $1,200. So we could just $200 for the extra expense because we can't afford this right now. We're trying to have a baby,
And
y'all.
you know, the 200 probably just groceries, you know.
Yeah,
Also help cover utilities.
Yeah.
No, you gotta assume that it's not necessary that keeps the cover eat all the food. And so
No, and that's why I say probably. It's probably just groceries and Relisa says utilities. Well, Relisa, what do you think?
All right, I think it's difficult, right? And I'm not even just looking at it from a financial perspective, because let's say Keisha is in a situation where now I watch our Keisha's differently now. Is in a situation where she isn't able to find a job, let's say within 2 months. And you know, there is one thing when somebody comes and stays with you and there isn't a definite time frame in terms of when they're going to leave, that they then become a nuisance, right? Now, another thing too is that when you are living, let's say if you're living by yourself, you're living with a boyfriend, you're living with whoever, you and whoever already have a rhythm going in terms of at home, right? You're used to this particular person or yourself just being in this particular space, and then another person entering that kind of it's obvious that another person is in your space, right? And not everybody feels as accommodating with that, right? So yes, we may have friends, yes, we may have relatives wanted to stay with us, but unless there's a definite time frame, and added to that, she isn't working. So where is she going to find this $200 from? Yes, the thought did come to me, then why doesn't the boyfriend pay it? But I cannot also make the assumption that the boyfriend is in a position to make the payment.
Here's a suggestion as well.
Go live with the boyfriend?
If she's living in the United States of America, she will be receiving unemployment.
No, not necessarily. If she is or the resident, if she is undocumented, she may not be.
Oh, if she's
Yes,
undocumented.
The
that's all.
plot thickens.
Yeah.
But caller, sorry we missed that call. You can try calling again.
Is this? I thought this was St. Vincent.
No, there's something off the internet. I'm not sure.
It could
I
be.
don't think.
Well, we could probably relate it
It
to
probably
Vincent because
has been, though.
because I can see it happening
But you know
where
what? I want to take another plot role. I think the male, in the end, you're right. He said, nah, this is going to disrupt my space. You charge 200, not from a financial profit, as a disincentive.
Hmm.
I know she ain't gonna come with that. Yes,
Maybe
I-
because they know her.
Ooh.
And then who
No,
says
no.
who says that the friend
Stick a pin right
Go ahead,
there.
Don't forget that person, right?
Yeah, don't forget it, Arthur. Note it. Good morning, caller.
Good morning. Doc, are you going to the cricket matches?
You bet I am. I'm going to two of them. I got opening night, and then I got another. I bought another ticket.
Because you're going to Idonia, I know that.
You're
Go
up in the
where?
party
You're going to
stand.
Idonia.
You're up in the party stand.
It's not just Idonia, it's Idonia,
And
it's
that's
Zeke,
it. Great.
it's
That's the
Daxi.
cue.
I did buy a new bicycle shorts and so forth.
Eh.
No, I shouldn't say that.
Caller.
Shatter.
No,
I don't know
no,
who's
I got an
JW,
image.
but Shatter, Doc, you long for Sitong?
Doc,
No.
hold on.
No,
Hello,
I meant
caller.
I'm going
Queens.
Mike Philly stand. Fine, Mike
Queens
Philly
is still here?
Mike Philly
Yes,
stand I'm going
yes,
to.
yes,
I
yes.
got a ticket. Mike Philly stand I'm going to. Why should I say
No
that?
judgment.
I was joking.
I'm
All
just
the
looking for
listeners,
the short
all the
pants.
listeners.
No, I just drew
I
a
was
mental
just
image and I
teasing
understand
it
if
to
that's
what
what
I
you
said.
want.
Listen,
get to
I want a
Queens.
picture. Sorry, Queens, go ahead.
You guys say I don't. You're gonna be in the party stand.
It's Friday. Yes.
Yes, Friday,
Idonia
June 14th.
Okay.
And the local artists that are listed.
Idonia, JW, that's CDQ, Zeke, and Shatter.
I hope there's some people speak to him for him to censor himself. So his song have a lot of
His song.
inappropriate words in it, and
Yeah,
I
plenty
hope he do
music,
it.
man.
I hope he censor it. I hope he censored it when he sings. That song have a lot of.
Yeah,
language
but I
in
do
it.
believe that Idonia is a seasoned artist. I do believe he knows how to censor or just for family-friendly performances.
Yeah, it's a family event. I had an opportunity to see cricket last Saturday, the one in Nassau County, New York. Was South Africa versus Netherlands. On lovely match, man. But the only thing I was disappointed is that you could have count the amount of black people on one hand that you see there's 99.9%
On the team or
Indian and white.
spectator?
No, in the
You
audience.
Oh.
hit
In the audience.
Yeah, but I don't-
talking about India, Pakistan. You're talking about India, Pakistan.
Yeah, but I don't see the problem.
No, well, I know. Yeah, well, most of them. But the one I go to is overwhelming 99.9%, and I'm sure. And yes, the other one also, because I drive by there when the match was over, and pure Indian people I see coming from there.
That's okay.
I don't see what's the problem.
No, I'm telling you, there were a lot of Pakistani people there too. They were not just
But
Indians
it-
alone.
Well,
Maybe
you know how
it's a
concessions
hypocrite.
are. He's using India as a generic description for everybody.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that Queens.
You know what I think is
Pakistani
happening
people
here?
from India, you know.
People,
Yeah.
Afro people. No?
If you
And,
go,
people say, well, West Indies are not playing up here. That's why, it black people not going.
But I tell you,
Well,
Keith,
you went to represent
That
us,
game-
Queen.
Exactly.
All right.
Let us leave it at that. You
But
went to
one out the
represent us.
5.
Yeah.
we got
Thanks for the representation, Chris.
I wanna bring one more thing short. Also make it short with one
Right.
more thing. Now, Doc, you're a frequent flyer. You fly out regularly, often. Do you know that you could bring bottled water in your carry-on bag if you freeze them as ice in the freezer? They would allow you to take them on the plane. Do you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Well,
I didn't
I
know
found out that last year, and I a couple of times I sneak water in my bag and I get caught. Sometimes I don't get caught. Sometimes I get caught. And on one occasion when I get caught, the TSA agent told me you could freeze the water as ice and you're allowed. And I've done it 4 times so far. And they check it out. They see the thing in the screen. They come, they check it out, and you're allowed to go on.
that.
So,
All right.
Interesting.
Thank you, Queen.
Yeah.
Thank you for your
That's a
contribution,
good thing.
Queen.
This
is
so
Yes.
random.
Bye-bye.
Random and I'm not-
FBI, if
and I'm
you're
not
listening to
sure if I
WEFM,
recommend
I
it
would just
either.
like you to know I do not condone what Queens has been doing with the TSA. I often fly to New York, and I do not want to be stopped for my association with Queens and whatever illegal
How
activity he might
then
have.
it's
But
water.
he has gotten through and he's been checked.
He's been caught 4 times. He also said
Yeah,
that.
I
No,
would
he said, but he's been checked and he was allowed to.
I won't
Yeah, he
risk
said
it.
the agent told him just to freeze the
I
water.
still won't risk it.
But
Just
back
say-
to the issue at hand. Get it?
No, go ahead.
Oh, my opinion of this is it is okay for a friend to ask you for a favor, but people need to be sensitive when approaching someone in a relationship. When you're in a relationship, worse when you're living together, you are no longer an independent body. You have to consider your partner, and if you have children, you have to consider your children. And there's a sense of entitlement that people have as friends as well. Because we're friends, you're supposed to do this, regardless of how your husband feels, regardless of how it affects
You say friends, it also extends to family, but go ahead.
Exactly. It also extends to your family. Now, what's important is you noted that they're moving. Moving costs money. We do not know what their finances are. We do not know if they had budgeted for this move. Then, if it is that they're moving to an apartment, they have to make a down payment on this apartment. Then they have to pay rent in this way. If they're paying a mortgage, even worse. They have to pay a mortgage and they have to maintain their home. And people don't understand owning a home costs a lot of money.
I understand that. And so therefore, if you consider all that, you won't ask. But if you consider all that, you won't ask. But our life is such. I've had to travel to England as a student. It wasn't my aunt put me up and see me through school and so forth. And every Sunday give me that nice bowl of soup and so forth. I had to pay her for that. I have to pay for the electricity and so forth because I didn't have the money to pay. Yes, and so it meant I had to stay here in order. Think about so that there are circumstances when you're down and out and you will need that help, and there's only a few people could help you. And there are others, when you consider what you just said, Harry, who won't be able to help you, and you just don't ask them. But sometimes you make the mistake and you ask somebody.
I don't think it's a mistake. I think you're down and you're out. You try, you reach out to who you know.
You reach out to who you know. And that is sometimes a disappointment.
All right, let's try to get this call in. Caller, good morning.
Morning, Harry. Morning, everybody.
Good morning, good morning.
Doc.
He's smiling.
Can you hear me?
He's listening.
He's listening, caller.
He feel like he knows what's
Doc,
coming.
good morning. Doc, you will know. I listened to WLIB radio yesterday in New York.
Yeah.
And behold, the first call on the station in the morning politics program. Your good buddy, a.k.a. Samuel from Queens. Better known as Queens.
Yes.
I couldn't believe it, Doc. Right?
Caller, wait 1 second. 1 second, please. Listeners, it is 9:40. We usually bring Community Dateline. We'll be bringing Community Dateline at 9:45. Please go ahead, caller.
Yes, I was just so shocked. Queens calls every radio station in America, Caribbean.
No, but he has an opinion. Queens. Look at that information he brought about frozen water. I love it. I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to use it, but that's a tidbit that one should know about. You know? But I love it.
I was so shocked. First caller and the program was Queens, a.k.a. Samuel. I could not believe this.
Well,
and that's what they was talking about. They was talking about how people in America is working 3 jobs to make ends meet. I say, I hope Queen's listening.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, he did call it, and that they was talking about. But he calling about some gun shooting. I don't know, something happened with some shooting in the court or whatever. So, for police. So I don't know.
Wait a minute. Earlier on, he had said he knows at the tip of my tongue I was going to be talking about the police in the States. I wasn't going to do that. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Well, he was talking about that topic.
He was talking about
New Jersey.
It was at the tip of his tongue.
All right. I didn't have an idea what was going on. I didn't know what was going on.
I want to know.
But I love he comes up with so much great ideas
and random things.
And we have to encourage him.
Harry, so I could say, good morning, Mr. Samuel, not Queens anymore. You have to, in America, you have to give your correct name. So you couldn't go as Queen. You have to go as Samuel.
Right, so from now, Queens from now on is good morning, Mr. Samuel.
I hope he listen and call back.
Now he gone to another radio station.
I would call him Hempstead. I would call him Hempstead. I would call him Queens. I call him
No.
I say that.
Oh, you saying that?
It's
Well,
an inside
it's
thing.
border Long
Boy.
Island and Queens anyway, so maybe that's what it is. So,
Oh Lord.
all right then, Doc.
Right,
All right.
thanks, Leon.
Ah.
Yeah. All right, and right. So before we jump off, so the other point that I was making, how are we so sure that it is the boyfriend who proposed the $200? Suppose
And you see, I didn't even get to finish your
right.
point.
Suppose it's who we going with? It's Keisha Green.
Green.
Green doesn't want for her friend to be in the same space as her and her boyfriend.
Okay, so that's your core argument, right? And what if the friend decide, listen, I know Keisha. And if Keisha is going to stay, I have no problem helping her out. She has to contribute. She's not going to be another bill to us. That is a high possibility. And my thing is, if you are with a man, he should be able to help you in some way. Not even the consult. He should be able to help you in some way, shape, or form.
Oh gosh, Eric,
Come
no.
on, Doc.
Not always.
If he ain't,
He may be also unemployed.
But she didn't even say,
$200.
I
Even
spoke
if
to
she
my
doesn't
boyfriend.
stay with him, if he's working, then he should probably be able to contribute.
Maybe
$200.
that's the
Exactly.
reason. Maybe that's the reason why the family don't like him, because
he ain't working.
no working.
He just
So then
figured off
Keisha
of
needs to
her.
leave that man altogether.
No, in a situation. That's like,
Because
that's
he's
up and say
unemployed
Keisha should leave him.
And he caused her to have nowhere to
him.
sleep.
Leave
It's a
him.
cause. At the bottom line is that the relationship between Keisha and Green is not as close as
That's
Keisha may
unfortunate.
thought. And that's why she gave the figure. But
Nobody talk
they
about
be
why
back in
Keisha
touch.
Lewis should work in the first place.
She was late.
So,
she was late.
Keisha,
So she doesn't have some discipline.
you need to
maybe.
watch.
But exactly, people don't fire her for one lateness.
Yeah.
One time, unless
One-
it's like one of those days. She was late on the worst day ever.
Yeah, what if that was her worst day ever? She woke up, her parents stressing her. She go to work late. She's fired. She comes back home and they're like, you're fired. No, you can't live in fire. And we don't like your boyfriend. Get out of here. Then she go to her friend Greens, and Greens was like, hey, so if you're going to come here, you know, and I contribute, but I ain't working Greens. She just saying the worst day.
You know, the thing though, is, as a point Doc is making, when I did an internship in Tobago, I stayed with, it's two different families I stayed with. There's a story with the other first one. But anyways, and the thing of it is that the person put me up because it was a specified time frame. And even though when I was looking to leave, I was going to make a payment, but they told me, no, don't make a payment, right? So I do understand that there are instances where we just need somebody to put us up. But the thing of it is that there was a specified time frame for when it is that I was going to leave, right? When you invite somebody into your home, as I said before, they're bringing different ways with them, right? They may also have different friends who it is that they want to maybe come and visit and so forth. Do you want for these extra persons to maybe know where you live in or to be within your space as well? So there are many things that you have to consider when you have somebody living in your space, right? I do understand being down and out, but sometimes as well, we have to look at somebody's personality because not every friend you could live with. Just like how not every family member you could live with.
That's true.
So
Yeah. But let's take a quick break here. It's 9:45. We'll wrap up after Community Dateline this morning.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
Michael Stewart, parish priest, and the pastors of the St. John the Evangelist, RC Parish, would like to inform all parishioners of the schedule for Holy Mass on Sunday, June. My apology, this has already gone. The Government of India, in joint collaboration with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, is pleased to announce an extension of the application deadline to June 15th, 2024 for the Indian Council for Cultural Relations, the ICCR Scholarship Scheme. The scholarship scheme entails a plethora of available programs in diverse fields for individuals who are interested in the opportunity to study the Indian culture, participate in workshops and seminars, and engage in cultural exchange programs. The ICCR Scholarship Scheme encompasses a diverse range of studies, including undergraduate, graduate, and PhD courses. Persons who are interested in this scholarship program are asked to contact the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade bilateral unit at 456-2067 or 456-2060. The Service Commissions Department at 456-1690, or visit the official website of the embassy using this link, www.a2, the number 2, a scholarships.iccr.gov.in for application guidelines, application forms, and additional information. The government of Japan, in joint collaboration with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, is pleased to announce an extension of the application deadline to June 10th, 2024 for the Japanese government, the Monbuka Gakusho, MEXT, I don't speak Japanese, I'm sorry, Scholarship Program 2025. The ministry encourages enthusiastic individuals who are eager to embark on this transformative journey of cultural exchange and postgraduate education in Japan to take advantage of this extension. Submission of applications are to be hand-delivered or mailed to the address Embassy of Japan in Trinidad and Tobago, 5 Hayes Street, St. Clair, Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago. Persons who are interested in this scholarship program are asked to contact the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Bilateral Unit at 456-2067 or 456-2060, or the Service Commissions Department at 456-1690, or visit the official website of the embassy using the following link, www.tt.embjapan.go.jp. And you can go from there for further application guidelines, application forms, and additional information. And finally, the Rural Transformation Unit in the Ministry of Agriculture, in collaboration with the Zero Hunger Trust Fund, presents the National Home Garden Competition. The general public is invited to apply in one of 3 categories: crops, livestock, and mixed farming, which is both crops and livestock. Registration ends June 30th, 2024. The competition date is July 1st, 2024 to October 31st, 2024. Judging takes place between September and October. The registration forms are available at the office of the Rural Transformation Unit at the Ministry of Agriculture in Kingston, and the Zero Hunger Trust Fund office at the 2nd floor of the NIS building in Kingston. That has been your community dateline for Monday, June 10th, 2024.
It's everything you'll ever want from everywhere, really easy. Shop on the net, use eZone internet delivery. Get your online shopping delivered right to your door. Or revolution your evolution. Go shop the world. eZone, eZone. From everywhere, really easy. eZone, eZone. Go shop fast, easy, affordable. Shop on the net and get it here through the eZone.
eZone St. Vincent, local agent to BMC agencies.
WEFM, the clean, fresh sound.
Activated mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Welcome back, listeners. The time is 9:50. I'm St. Vincent in Eastern Caribbean, and welcome back to Samuel from Queens. Good morning.
You will call next week. Tomorrow.
I want to say something.
Go ahead, Doc.
I would say a number of people are down and out.
Mm-hmm.
And people sometimes can feel unwelcome, maybe even depressed or in their last leg.
Mm-hmm.
We have to have greater levels, acts of kindness, small and large. Whether it is that elderly person who lives next door or down the road who needs lunch or just a meal on Sundays, or whether it is adopting a child or taking someone else in your family. Yes, that's a big disruption to the family. But there's so many persons, whether in St. Vincent or around the world and so forth, that could have an impact. Or that lady who she seemed to have a couple of children, she's a former boyfriend or a couple of men who've left her stranded and so forth, and needs a hand because it's just too much for her. I think there are a lot of these instances that we could create the scenarios, and we just need that greater. Within that, there'll be some exploitation. Within that, there be persons who overstate what they really needs and so forth and things like that. But boy, I tell you something, this stuff goes a long way. And I'm always proud to be involved in that sense of thought. And I'm hoping that other persons just get out of that selfishness, even though it protects us from being used. And so I think we need just these greater acts of kindness, small and large.
That was really nice of you, Doc. I personally think Green is right, and she should.
No, there was a piano playing, the violin playing in the background.
That's cute, but
But nah.
No, I get where Doc is coming.
I do get where he's coming from as well, but
there is a bit of a self-protection, and I think for me, what it is that persons, I need to see effort on the part of the individual, right? It has to be a case where, okay, so yes, you are this mother with these children. Are you actively looking for a job? Right? How are you actually taking care of these children? Are you deliberately going and getting pregnant by a new man or each new man who comes into your life? So I need to see what effort is actually being made as a responsible person before I can then extend that help to somebody.
Yeah. But I tell you, some people need the help now. You could do the assessment and take a week, a month.
No, but certain things you could be able
that.
to tell by the person's character.
You can do. There's some people who are crooks. There's some people who are scams. But I tell you something. There's some people who are not, but are just not able to convince enough people that this is a time they really do need some help.
Yeah,
and I'm hoping that we open up our minds. This is what the Lord has told us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Harry,
I think
Joel, Jack. I mean, I'm going to listen to that prayer quiz. Maybe you should listen to the prayer quiz.
I don't need to.
Oh, you know the answers.
Listen, I have a certificate. I'm a Bible boxer. Don't play with me. Don't play with me.
I heard you telling Christal you know more about the Bible.
Don't play with me. I have certificates. I have medals under my belt. Don't play with me.
I still have more to
Christal,
learn.
he went in the air fryer. That's how we know he went in the air fryer.
I still have more to learn. And I tell you something. I mean, I could say if you say Gerald Thompson, I got this. That. I tell you, along the way,
don't try to dismiss my qualifications, Doc. Do not try to dismiss my qualifications.
Along the way.
So Harry,
the people that helped went out of their way. I'm just not talking about my Auntie Pearl. I'm talking along the way. People put me up and so forth. I like Roro. You know what I mean? In Tobago. I tell you, it goes a long way, It stops a gap.
Doc, let me tell you, there are people that put me up too, but I do believe friends and family need to release themselves from the shackles of entitlement. If it is that you're able to help, you're able to help, but you do not need to help. You're not forced to help. It is your choice. Yeah. And I do think that people tend to forget that all these things are within their right.
Not taking up his keys.
But
well, clearly, see where you're not going.
Where
I'm not going. I'm not going where you're going this morning. So you got your keys. But it was a very good discussion. We should have more of these type of discussion on Mondays. Tomorrow it will be released and I will be activated morning. Thanks a lot for listening. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's time for your news in brief. Do have